This video is presented by EA Creator Network. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today's speed build is an extra exciting one because as you can tell, we are playing with the brand new Sims 4 game pack, the Sims 4 Werewolves. So I did get early access to this pack as per usual, and I am going to be testing out all of the new build items in this build today. So I'm super excited to be doing this build. It feels like it's been so long since we've gotten a new game pack and just new items to get excited over. So I'm excited to share my thoughts and just my first impressions on the new pack and the new items so far. So I've only had my early access for about a day, so none of my opinions are like conclusive yet, because I feel like sometimes it takes a while to like marinate with the items and with, you know, just the vibe, at least from like a builder's perspective. Sometimes like items that don't look super appealing at first sometimes eventually grow on you, or you find ways to incorporate them into your builds, or sometimes even items that you think are gonna be, you know, super useful or they're super cute, sometimes don't actually end up getting used as often as you think. So this video is kind of just my first impressions on everything, and you know, whether or not this is a good pack or not, you'll kind of see in future videos if I gravitate towards those items or not. So right off the bat, you can see here I am going to be making kind of like a log cabin. I wanted to do something luxurious, but obviously this world, the new world with this pack is called Moonwood Mill, and it has 5 lots. It's just one neighborhood. It kind of has like a small town vibe. It's kind of like a quiet forest town with an industrial abandoned mill aesthetic. So a lot of trees, a lot of rundown mill buildings, and it's just more of a, you know, forest vibe. So it didn't feel right to put, you know, a classic Dr. Ashley luxury cabin here. So I thought that I would go for something that's like, it was gonna be a luxury kind of cabin vacation home, and maybe they got it like 75% built, but then it got, you know, they got a little spooked. Maybe they were from out of town and they thought this was just an innocent Moonwood Mill, you know, prime real estate. It was cheap and they thought they'd go for it. And then they got here, they started building, and then, you know, there were some interesting creatures in the neighborhood, aka werewolves, and then they kind of just abandoned the home or something. So it does have maybe like a luxury direction, but it is more tattered and just a little bit more worn down, because that's kind of like the aesthetic of the pack, and it came with a lot of kind of like worn down wall swatches. You can see the roof swatch I used is kind of like that worn down sheet metal, and then as well as the the horizontal wood slats I used, those are new from the pack, and they have a bit more of a weathered look as well. So it's kind of like a nice luxury cabin, but with a more weathered and worn down twist to it. So kind of like a merge of styles. I tried to like merge my style with this town's existing aesthetic. So yeah, it was gonna be a really nice, you know, luxury cabin, but then, you know, they abandoned it, and this is how it is now. So it's kind of halfway in between. But anyways, I'll pop the reference photo up on the screen too. I did have a reference photo. I didn't copy it exactly, but I was definitely very heavily inspired by it. And that's what I'm doing here with this kind of glass roof. In the photo, they had like floor to ceiling windows, like all the way up into the roof. And as you guys know, we don't have like roof windows, like triangular windows yet. We only have like square and rectangle and stuff like that. So I kind of had to get creative with my roofing in order to mimic that kind of floor to ceiling window effect. So I used the glass roofs there. So a little bit about the world. Now I might do like a quick little short, like a YouTube short video on a world overview if you want to see that in more detail. If I end up getting that video out in time, I'll link it in the comments or in the description. But basically this world comes with 5 lots total, and it comes in a variety of good lot sizes, which is good. So we have a 40 by 30, a 20 by 15, so a really small one, and that has a starter home on it. Then we have a 30 by 30, which is what I'm building on here today. And then there's a 40 by 30 again, and that one has a library on it, and a 50 by 40, which is a bar. So quite a lot of like larger lots, which I think is good, because I think when in doubt, larger is better than smaller, just because, you know, if it's larger, you don't have to fill the whole lot if you don't want to. But we didn't get a 30 by 20, which is interesting. Instead, we got this 30 by 30, which I'm using right here, which I actually don't mind a 30 by 30. I usually build on a 30 by 20, but I didn't mind the extra space. It just feels, you know, a little bit more spacious and a little less like squishy, which I think is good for this kind of foresty neighborhood. I think in kind of more residential neighborhoods, it's better if the houses are a little bit closer together to give it that more community feel. But in a world like this where you have a lot of land, I think these bigger lots definitely are very useful. So here you can see I've basically completed the exterior of this home. You can see that I added that like new metal fencing over to the left there, just to add like a sense of, I don't know, just making it a little bit more grungy. And you know, I wanted to use that fence, and it kind of looked like the photograph as well. That fence, I also put it around the entire perimeter as well, almost as if they like ran out of materials to replace it with a nice wooden fence because they couldn't finish the build in time before they had to escape from the werewolves. So they just have that metal fence around the back and then the nicer wooden fence out in the front. So I kind of liked that contrast there. Just gives the build a little bit more interest, maybe makes it look a little bit more realistic, because sometimes actually in houses that I see just in like my neighborhood and stuff, like it would have a kind of nice picket fence like out at the front where people can see it from the sidewalk, but then at the back of the home it would just be kind of like a metal fence, like something that wasn't that nice. So I think sometimes houses do have like a nicer fence out on the front and then a less nice fence at the back. I don't know, let me know if that's a thing or not. But the other thing that I did is I kind of put some trucks from Debug out in the front as well, just making it look like they kind of drove in. It's kind of like a makeshift driveway. They just drive onto the dirt there. There's no like real roads. And the other item that I thought was really nice from Debug are these logs. It's like these piles of logs, and they have like the dark wood and the light wood. Sorry, I don't know what like the wood is called in real life, like I don't know, birch and something, cedar. I don't know. But I really like those items. They're just like a really cool, like realistic, lively detail that I think adds a lot of like life and realism to the build. I figured maybe they had all of those extra logs there because they were doing construction on this, you know, newly built place, and then, you know, they abandoned it, so all of the materials are still sitting there. It's kind of like, I wanted it to look like maybe a bit of a construction zone, and then whoever abandoned it abandoned all of their things here as well, and then maybe somebody like me or you or whoever's gonna play in this came in and is kind of bringing it back to life and like working with what they had, and it hasn't been touched for many years, so it's a little bit weathered on the inside. So you'll see on the inside I have like some more modern touches as well. And then we also have the addition of the more kind of like werewolf pack items, which comes with, you know, some scratches on the wall and some claw marks on the wall, which gives the build a little bit more mystery. So I don't know, I was trying really hard, you guys, to like fuse my vision of like a luxury home in with the storyline of this town, because obviously you can't just like plop a beautiful ultra modern, you know, cabin down here, because it just wouldn't really work. So I wanted it to kind of look like maybe like a new development or something like that. So let me know what you guys think. Also, I think it could be a cute vacation home, which is why I put that hot tub out front. Like they added in a hot tub or something. I don't really know. But let me know what you guys think of the outside. I've never done a cabin like this, so I really love how it looks. I also like how on the roof part, I did half of the roof is like the old metal and half of the roof is like the new kind of like nice looking sheet metal, kind of to make it look like they only like half fixed the roof or something like that. So yeah, but now we're on to the inside. So the majority of the new pack items will be showcased here on the inside. The outside didn't have a ton of new pack items, just like the roof texture and some windows, maybe some doors, and the, you know, wood texture on the outside, and then just some of the debug items. So most of the new items will be showcased here on the interior. So I did make this for, I think I have 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So unfortunately I wasn't able to fit in a second bathroom, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm sure you guys will manage. But one cool thing is we did get some new bunk beds, which I'm excited to show you guys in the downstairs area when I do the kids' bedrooms. And we also got a new toddler bed, which is actually super cute as well. We didn't get any new kitchen stuff, so don't mind the kitchen here. It's kind of going to be mainly base game. I used the like new curtains that we got too, which is kind of funny. It's like these little blankets or these tarps or something that they just kind of pin to the wall, which I think adds to kind of like a hideout aesthetic, or even like a post-apocalyptic aesthetic. I don't know, it's kind of like a cool item. Again, I didn't want to put like formal curtains in here because I wanted to make it look like this place was kind of like half done. So, you know, they maybe renovated the kitchen. They put in some new appliances, but they weren't able to, you know, replace the curtains just yet. So they have the existing kind of makeshift blanket curtains that were up here for the past 5 years while the house was abandoned. And who knows who's been using this house all this time and put those up. So I put the primary bedroom upstairs, by the way, and then all of the kids' bedrooms are downstairs. I also included a gym downstairs with a separate entrance. And the reason why I included a gym is because I actually wanted to use every single pack item in this one build, just so you guys can see every single item in action. So I limited my packs pretty heavily here. I have like Snowy Escape, Island Living, Eco Lifestyle, and I don't know what other packs. I didn't use many packs at all. So the majority of the items that you see me showcase here will be from the new Werewolf pack, and also probably like base game and stuff like that. But here you can see the new couch that we got, and the new kind of like lazy boy type armchair, which I think is nice, and this little log holder too, where it holds like the firewood. I think that's such a cute item. I can see myself using that item in a lot of my modern builds because it does actually come in like a crisp white swatch, which I really love. But overall, the furniture is a little bit more tattered and a little bit more worn down, which is, you know, I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, even like this desk, it's like a door desk. It's like they ripped the door off and then turned it into a desk. It's kind of interesting. And honestly, if you use some of the darker swatches, like what I used here, I used the pure black swatch, it kind of looks like a little bit chic, don't you think? So I really like how with these swatches, they gave us the option of pure neutrals as well, because then it makes it easier for people like me who tend to like to keep things more neutral. It allows me to still be able to use them comfortably. Now, you could argue, oh, I should probably go out of my comfort zone and like use something super colorful, but like, I'm not ready for that. What if I don't want to? So I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting how, despite the fact that I was using like really worn out items in this living room, it still looks like my classic color scheme. Like I was still able to replicate a Dr. Ashley neutral, kind of modern feeling living room, even though the items are definitely kind of more worn down. It also helps that this is a cabin, and with cabins it's a lot of wood tones and a lot of browns and just a lot of more, you know, natural looking finishes in general, and you're not going to see those super crisp, you know, like glass finishes anyway. So yeah, it helped. But here you can see in the bathroom, we got this really cool like broken mirror, and it's like a mirror with like a different like, you know, broken parts in it, and it comes in a variety of different colors. So I thought I would add it into the bathroom, and it's broken, so obviously, you know, a werewolf broke it, or somebody who was, you know, living here broke it, and they have to replace it, but they haven't gotten around to it. And then here you can see I'm doing a kids bedroom, so I just have 2 kids beds here. Now it's super exciting because we got new bunk beds, which I think is a really fun addition. I didn't expect to always like get new bunk beds. After we got like the base game update, I thought like, okay, we have bunk beds now, like they're not gonna give us more, but I'm really happy that we're getting more bunk beds in like even something like a game pack. So it's really good to see, just to have some more variety in the bunk beds. Obviously these ones are a little bit more worn down, especially with the frame. So it could be really fun to use those bunk beds for like a summer camp or something, if you're making like, you know, summer camp in like a bunch of like cabins and stuff for like kids. Not that like you can really send your kids to summer camp anyways, but like, I don't know, if you wanted to go on like a family vacation, an outdoor retreat or something, and you wanted to put the kids in like a kids cabin, you can put like a bunch of bunk beds in that like cool kind of weathered wood swatch, and I think that's something that could be really useful. You can see here I paired outdoor retreat, so I actually included outdoor retreat in this build too, just because I thought that it went really well together. So if you have outdoor retreat, it might be a good, you know, pack to pair with werewolves. You might find that those items kind of mesh well. At least that's how I felt. I really love this moon mirror. It's just like so ethereal and so like whimsical looking. It kind of is it's a lot more like pretty compared to some of the other items in the pack. So I'm really shocked to actually see that really pretty like crescent moon mirror. But I definitely really like it. I can see myself doing like a shorts room build based around that mirror. It just looks super pretty. So stay tuned to that. There's a lot of like moon items. I guess obviously because it's a werewolf pack, I shouldn't be surprised that there's moon items. But yeah, I don't know. I really also like how all of the items are coming together with the brown tones. And also I really like the rugs that we got. So we got 2 new rugs for sure, and they're the exact same rug. It's just one of them is like more worn out and like kind of ripped, and then the other one is like perfectly fine. So I like how they gave us the both options. And yeah, they both have the exact same swatches, so you're not like missing out on one or the other, but they just, you know, one's ripped if you want that aesthetic, or one's perfect, so you can still use it in your other builds that aren't like werewolfy or like worn out and stuff. So definitely love that. You can see we are working on the other kids' bedroom, so I put a toddler bed in here to showcase the new toddler bed, and then just a regular kids' bed. I really love that toddler bed. I think it's so cute. Again, I can see myself doing some cool themed bedrooms based around that toddler bed, maybe like a treehouse bedroom or something. I don't know, I just really love the wood framing around it, and the fact that it looks a little bit more weathered just adds to the charm in my opinion. I think when it comes to kids bedrooms, sometimes if it doesn't, like if it looks like kind of themed like that, it can actually add to it and make it look really pretty. So I'm excited to use that. And then I really love the bookcase. You see how we got this like standalone bookcase? It's a bookcase that kind of acts like a room divider, which I think is super cool, which is actually funny because I recreated a bookcase like that recently in one of my recent speed builds. I did like a bookcase in between two pillars, like a room divider, exactly like that bookcase. So now they actually have that bookcase in game, which is nice because it's a functional item but also separates the room. So I think that'd be really nice to use in like a living room too, if you want to like separate off a living room from a kitchen area or dining room. So overall, just a really versatile item. I use the brown swatch here, but obviously it comes in like a pure white and a pure black as well. So I am loving that. I'm actually really happy about a lot of the color swatches that we were given. Obviously we were going to get a bunch of browns and stuff, but we got a lot of pure whites and pure blacks, which obviously is something that I would use, and it just helps because it's not only for people like me who don't like color, but it helps to make the items more usable in other scenarios. Like if you were going to use these items back in Newcrest or Willow Creek or in just a regular family neighborhood, having the items in pure white and pure black just make them more transferable when you take it out of the theme. So overall, pretty happy with that. I used a lot of these cool wall decorations pretty heavily around the build just to give the walls like the appearance of them needing to be fixed up a bit. They're kind of ripped, the paint's falling off, they're scratched. And the best part about those wall decoration items is it's all confined into one item. Rather than all of the different patterns being separated out into different like posters, they're all just in various swatches. So you know how like vampires, all of the wall scuffs are like separated because they're technically different? For these ones, they actually put it all into one item, so it takes up less space in the catalog, which I love. So they need to like fix that for all the other ones, because I do not need to see like 10 scratch mark wall decorations in my catalog. Seriously. But you can see we did the gym super quickly. There were only like 2 new gym items. It was like a punching bag and the kind of like, whatever that is, like full body, like arms, legs, machine thingy. I don't really know what that is. I've actually never seen one of those in real life. That like workout thing that they have in The Sims where like you work out your legs and your arms at the same time. I've never seen that in the gym before, so I don't know what it's called. But it's kind of funny because we were just talking about recently how like we really don't need any more punching bags. So, I mean, I appreciate them giving us another punching bag because it fits the theme, but like, I don't really think we needed another punching bag, like, I'm gonna be honest. But I guess, more is more, so why not? But you can see we're doing the primary bedroom upstairs. I actually kind of like how the blanket curtains look in this room. For some reason, like the brown walls and just like the navy blue plaid just feels like pretty cozy. It also matches the outdoor retreat bed pretty well. We didn't get an adult bed with this pack, by the way. That bed is from Outdoor Retreat. We did just get the toddler bed, the kids bed, and I think we got a baby bassinet as well, but we didn't get any adult bed. So I guess they like had to do some trade-offs, and it was either one or the other. So I think it's fine because we have a lot of adult beds. So I think if anything, we needed more kids beds. So I'm happy with that decision. But anyways, you can see we are on the upstairs. The layout is kind of interesting for this home just because it's kind of like the kids are downstairs and there isn't really much space up here. It's just like one big hallway. It's very open concept. So I just thought I would put a bunch of skill building things. We didn't get like many other skill building things besides the new telescope, which we are getting in base game, as well as we got a different swatch here with this pack as well. So even if you don't get this pack, you will still get the new telescope. It's like a nice small normal looking telescope. I put a couple out on the balcony so you might be able to see it, but we also got like a bonfire thing which I put in the backyard as well. So Up here, I'm just putting, you know, some skill building stuff, some chests, some, you know, all that good stuff. Also, we got those bookshelves that I put over on the left on that wall there. They're kind of interesting. I don't really know where else I'm gonna use bookshelves like that. Like, I can't really see myself using them in like another build. They're just kind of like dirty looking, which is like fine, but maybe like in a garage or like a university. I don't really know. That bookshelf, it's very interesting looking, but for me, it's kind of a miss. The way that I like kind of grade items usually is how, if I can see myself using it beyond just this pack, because I really want to get like my money's worth out of the items. Like, I don't want items that are only applicable to like this one specific scenario. Like, I want items that are going to be usable in, you know, a lot of different types of builds. So that's kind of generally how I like to look at things. And yeah, so that's just how you can derive as much value from an item as possible. If you can use it in, you know, every single world and every single type of build, then obviously it's going to be, you know, more valuable than a very, very niche specific item. So in this case, in my opinion, I feel like that bookshelf up there is a little bit niche. It's a little bit, you know, I personally just can't see myself using it. But, you know, again, this is just all first impressions, so only time will tell how useful any of these items truly are and how this pack really performs in our day-to-day life and in our day-to-day building. I hope to try and do a few more of these builds, so I have a renovation that I've done as well. So stay tuned to way more builds coming with The Sims 4 Werewolves, and we'll hear more about my thoughts and opinions as I get to play with the pack a little bit more. I hope you guys are excited, but in the meantime, let me know what your guys' first impressions are of this pack based on this build today or any other build videos or videos you've seen so far, and let me know if you guys think you are going to be purchasing the pack or not. But besides that, the build is done. I really love how it turned out. I've never done anything like this before, so please let me know what you think of it in the comments down below, and please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I'd really appreciate it. But besides that, I'm gonna get going now. If this is our first time meeting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be friends or if you want to see more Sims 4 videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye everybody.